Hello everyone. Well, I made it out to the water temple today, and I thought I'd share what I found. This water temple was supposedly constructed in 1938, and it joins the Crystal Springs Reservoir with the Hetch Hetchy Aqueduct, supplying San Francisco with its drinking water. Located halfway between San Francisco and San Jose, it is in a relatively remote area, and it has stood for decades, supposedly, as a local landmark and a place for people to have picnics. As we can see, it is constructed in an old world fashion, which most likely dates it far beyond 1938. As we can see here on the inscription, which was possibly put in far after it was constructed, we see in Roman numerals 1938. Now, the interesting thing here is when I pan up and look down into the well, the grate used to not be there. And when I was a kid, I looked down, I could see the water flowing through, and kids used to jump in with inner tubes and be shot out through the canal into the reservoir. Sometime in the 1990s, that grate was constructed to prevent people from doing so. Just an interesting side note, I suppose. As you can see there in the distance, that's where the water flows out into the reservoir, although now it's diverted into a filtration unit, so the temple is purely ornamental. As we see now, a beautiful porthole into the sky, showing off the intricate and more detailed craftsmanship of the temple. Water temples date back at least into ancient Greece, and they are thought to bless the water to provide a place of worship for Poseidon and Neptune, respectively, of course, to Roman or Greek. And as we spiral around here, we see the perfect symmetry, we see the alignment, and we see the sun poking out through the smoke-filled sky. Here in California, we are being bombarded with wildfire smoke in the atmosphere, and that's what creates the orangish hue in the sun. Now, there's not a lot to say about this temple that can't be said about a lot of other old world construction. As a child, this place always captivated me. It's a place of solitude in an otherwise hustling and bustling Bay Area. There's something magical about it, and I suppose that's why dozens, if not hundreds of people get married here every year. Moving on to the back of the temple, behind the barbed wire fence, we see where the water spills out into the reservoir. As you can see, the water is coming from an adjacent filtration unit. So, like I said, the kids would be shot out here in inner tubes, and it would take them out into the lake. A few kids died. That was partially the reason why the grate was installed. Anyways, moving back here, we see more inscriptions here. We see some Old Testament scripture. I'll leave a link in the description to the passage. And as we move around here, we see just how beautiful this old world building was, or is, depending on how you look at it. Although some will say that it was constructed in 1938, I only found one picture of a temporary structure that will be included later in the video. Now, there's not, like I said, there's not a lot I can say. So I'm just gonna kind of let the video do most of the talking, because the history of this building is a little suspicious, and information was hard to find that wasn't purely of the mainstream narrative. So, as we continue, we see bricks laid, obviously in a aesthetic fashion to represent possibly a procession or just the cycle of life, and how water is an intricate element into the cycle of life. Now, I don't have any evidence or any definite proof, but rumor has it that all kinds of rituals, seances, and other occult gatherings used to take place here. It seems like a fitting place. Growing up, I heard ghost stories and other lavish tales about this place. I can't verify any of that, like I said, but regardless, it seems like the type of place where such things would happen. Now, one of the things about this temple that I just can't seem to get enough of is just how beautifully symmetrical it is. The constructors of this temple did a very, very good job in not only erecting it, but also designing it. Something I find kind of hard to believe from the inheritors, to construct something so beautiful in the middle of nowhere for no other purpose but to bless the water superficially, as they say, as they were not practitioners or followers of the old god's ways. Here we see an intricate lion head. These are all around the structure. If anyone knows exactly what the lion's relation to water is, please leave it in the comments. We see some other symbols, some flowers, some other things of that nature. Moving on, we see the beautiful trees. Yes, here it is. This is the only picture that I could find of a supposed dedication ceremony. Although this structure here is temporary and was later moved to an undisclosed location, I could find no other information about this ceremony. Some say it's not even the same location. So there you have it. That's all I have on that. That's the only picture I could find of the supposed dedication ceremony, and it wasn't even the same building, and it might not even have been in the same place. So I'm just going to let the rest of the video play out here and just kind of enjoy the aesthetic visuals of this old world construction. I will pop in one more time though and let you know that there is another water temple in the Bay Area located in Sonoma, California. I do plan to visit there, but currently it is an active archaeological site as they have found ancient skeletons on site. Kind of suspicious in itself, isn't it? Anyways, when I can visit the other water temple, I will, and I will make another video documenting that as well. I apologize for the short narration, but there just isn't really much to say. I just find it a beautiful building, and its ties to the old world can't be denied. And if I find more information, I'll do an updated video. And if there's enough interest, I'll do a more detailed video. If you find this place interesting like me, leave a comment, and possibly I'll return and do a different video. And I'll do a little bit more research into its construction, and we can discuss the official story versus our opinions on a building such as this. And also let me take this opportunity to thank all my new subscribers and all my new Patreons. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.